David, we're here at Service Department Summit Americas. You have been involved in the launch of numerous extended stay brands, the latest of which is WaterWalk Hotel Apartments. Can you tell me a bit about the new venture and what sets it apart from other projects you've been involved with?
Yeah, thanks. It's been fun. It's Jack DeBoer's fifth national brand. It's really a hybrid between a hotel and apartment, similar to corporate housing in the fact that we build 153 apartments. We furnish about half of them, do all the hotel services to that half, housekeeping, breakfast, 24-hour desk, etc., right? And then the other half are an apartment, traditional, sign a 12-month lease and stay. Now we provide some extra services to those apartments that you probably don't get in a traditional apartment, but the basic fundamentals of the business is one half apartment, one half hotel, and that mix allows you to be flexible. In a good market or a good year, you might furnish more. In a bad market or a bad year, you might furnish less and do more apartments.
And are there specific geographic locations that this model works particularly well in? What do you look at in a local market when you decide to launch a WaterWalk there?
Yeah, so our growth is in three phases. First set of growth is in the first 32 markets that we've picked in the United States. That'll generate about 65 WaterWalk locations. And that's what I'd call kind of mid-major markets. Dallas, Houston, Chicago, Denver, Charlotte, Fort Lauderdale, those kind of markets. Then phase two is as we develop those markets, both on company-owned and franchise-owned projects, then we'll be starting into the suburbs of Boston and New Jersey and Philadelphia and Los Angeles and San Francisco, etc., kind of the higher barriers to entry, but out more in the suburbs. And then phase three, which could be many years down the road, then we go into more of an urban market like in New York City or downtown Chicago and buy an existing apartment or a hotel and renovate. But there's plenty of competition in those major markets, and this model really we want to take to the mid-majors and kind of the suburbs of the majors.
You alluded earlier in the session to the fact that the traditional hotel operators and real estate developers are leaving a big gap of the stays between a week and just under a year, which is where operators like yourselves are focusing at. Why do you think that's happening? And you know, it's a lucrative market, it's a regular market. Why do you think it's being ignored?
Yeah, great question. So, you know, the hotel side of the business, they want to drive rate and transactions, and so they drive to shorter and shorter length of stay. A Residence Inn right now, average length of stay is like 3.5 nights. That's really not extended stay. That's a hotel with a kitchen in it, right? And they want to do that because they've got a big Marriott brand name, and it's easier to get that business by just plugging in and driving rate, right? And there's so much demand today, they can probably fill all 7 nights of the week. On the apartment side of the business, they want to go longer and longer leases, 12-month leases, 14-month leases, 24-month leases they want. So they leave this great big area that we get to play in here in the service department side, WaterWalk side, of something more than a week and something less than a year. And it's just the reason they're leaving that segment, that demand for that is increasing, but it is serviced by the great big apartments who don't want to they want long-term, and the great big extended stay hotels, and they want to go into their brand short-term. So they're finding that that's not their core business, but it's our core business, and the demand's increasing.
And finally, what have been your impressions of this first event here for us, the Service Department Summit Americas?
Well, it's been great. The people and the level of people have really been, I think, beneficial. You know, it's a little bit by definition, it's a bit of a fragmented industry, you know, so you need a lot of the specialists, and you got them all here. So it's the one place that you can go and talk to everybody that you need to talk to in the industry, whether that's, for whatever reasons you might have.